Right, welcome. Good morning, Fiifi-Manfred City. Big one. Good morning. Oh, I see a Sunday broadcast. We are bringing it to you live here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube, like we always do. And there's a lot to talk about. I say Chelsea, a big one against Tottenham Hotspur, and then you made something that can really shape English Premier League. This weekend we'll talk about that. Enzo Maresca has spoken. We'll talk about all of those stuff. Saying that Chelsea a bit winning some match against team at your friend Tottenham Hotspur. How is the game going to pan out? But and also there were games that went on. We'll look quickly into that. And now yesterday it was just Benfica and 80 million over 1.5 at Miami. Very bad week for investors this week. But then again, and probably the three different codes out to one of 14 odds, 12 odds, and 6 odds. You know that one. Go pick it up and stake. Me sure say today there's going to be some good success. It's in the description of the video, so just go down there and pick it up and then stick it over on the BBI and yeah, come on. Now let's talk about a game. Chelsea this morning, this afternoon, against team and friend Tottenham Hotspur. I can say one of those banana skin games that we did. I mentioned the fact that Chelsea in the last few weeks, any match summer bar, especially after the international break, the game against Southampton, the game against Leicester City, the game against Aston Villa, three very crucial games, and at Chelsea 9 points. Now, a very busy set of Christmas period in the English Premier League. Into your Chelsea now, you would expect that Chelsea consistently gets results, so maybe they can be close to the top, especially say and now Manchester City drop a point, Manchester United elusi, Newcastle elusi. In fact, when we go to the table in English Premier League as it stands now, as of and then compare it to the matches in November, so that we can have a good conversation. We want to Chelsea at the second. Liverpool and Monra because our game was postponed. How many Everton Merseyside derby, it was postponed. There is Chelsea in second place with 28 points. There is Arsenal 28 points. There is Manchester City 27 points. Nottingham Forest 25 points. These two teams, Nottingham Forest and a winning against Manchester United. Man City a draw against team my friend Crystal Palace. Aston Villa yesterday also got a win, so they are in 25 points. Brentford 23 points. Brighton and Hove Albion 23 points. Fulham 22 points. Bournemouth 21 points. Tottenham 20 points. And at Tottenham Hotspur and Tottenham Hotspur in 11th position. So now it tells you the likes of Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest would want to close in on Chelsea. Any teams now shown as it stands now before the Chelsea near Arsenal, just 3 points back and away from Chelsea. Any team a friend Nottingham Forest. So Chelsea knows. So it's a game that they can't just let it slide like that. They need to make sure so Ombenya win against team your friend in Nottingham Forest because it's an important game against team your friend Tottenham Hotspur Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We'll talk about the nitty-gritties of the game. But that's exactly how the table looks like for Chelsea going up into side game. Obviously, there is also Fulham versus Arsenal because another game and also a huge bearing on Chelsea match. And if at the Craven Cottage, Arsenal echo away to go and play against Fulham. Tough game for team my friend Arsenal over there. There is Ipswich versus Bournemouth, also a game that's going to go on today. Leicester City and then Brighton, also a game that will go on today. And of course, Chelsea and Fulham match. We'll delve into that deeper. Of course, unsubscribe to the channel and subscribe to the channel and turn on notification. And very imperative. Subscribe to the channel and make sure say BBA come. Of course, so I share link. So I want to say a very big thank you. So I share link. I'm for so I enjoy your watching on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. And in the Spanish La Liga, FC Barcelona a drop a point. But when Madrid had a chance in the evening away at Girona, they did a job 3-0. And Madrid Mbappe, Jude Bellingham, these guys stood up and then made sure that Madrid will get a result. It was a 4-1-2-1-2 again. Jude Bellingham with a box crashing job like last season. So one of the reasons in turn Jude Bellingham very important for team and friend Real Madrid last season was the fact that he was always box crashing, not starting from deep, no attacking box late to make sure so very effective games. Now were imposing himself in matches. He helped him to get assists, he helped him to get goals last season and helped Madrid team. Of course, with the injuries affecting Madrid, Carlo Ancelotti has gone back to the box crashing role of our branch friend Jude Bellingham. And then it came up again. It was important. He got a goal for them. My branch friend Kylian Luton Mbappe. And so you goal and more. And it means that in the Spanish La Liga, Okonaso could in Como games for us to see. You can see Real Madrid for as it stands now are closing in the gap on FC Barcelona. You can clearly tell Madrid on the Spanish La Liga table. Madrid at a second with 36 points, Barcelona over 38 points, and Madrid over one game in hand against Valencia. If they are able to even get a draw, they closer to one, and they stay within touching distance of team my friend FC Barcelona, and that's what Madrid wanted to do: stay within touching distance. And it is. I don't say sad, but it has inflicting the air dropping points. They are dropping points in times where they don't have to drop points. They are dropping points where Madrid are closing in, and it looks like it's going to affect them in the long run. Then Madrid will come and win the league ahead of them, and they need to be a little bit careful. It's not here. Real Madrid got the win, but let's go back and go straight into the Chelsea match. We've spoken about everything that happened elsewhere. We've spoken about Madrid game, Barca, obviously. Of course, we've spoken about the fact that City lose here, Manchester United, they lose the job at Manchester United. Any easy side for Ruben Amorim. He knows it. It's not going to be an easy job for Ruben Amorim. It's a huge job. Again, Debias Emeka Todd Bowley is a brilliant man, and the reason why he's constantly able to make sure that Obeyes Chelsea rebuild, with the efforts they put in, and still not affects the club. People now understand Manchester United, regardless of how good Ruben Amorim is, it will take some job for him to make sure that Obey things around the players there, and then the recruitment has been not so good in recent years, and I think that they need to go back there and try and find, changes to Sa. Yamane also team and friend of Manchester United, but we wait to see how all of those things do pan out. Chelsea ever against team your friend of Tottenham Hotspur. And now, I spoke about some of the things that you should look out for. Also, imagine. But see, Chelsea in Pepe say only Tottenham Hotspur, but Tottenham will do a lot of the invasion. They'll throw a lot of men into the half spaces to try and dominate the game. And Chelsea know that that's probably where the biggest opportunities will come from. Say, almost 50 on them. Now, almost control possession, not throw more men into the half space to try and win the ball and then 10 possession over. Chelsea himself, once they do that, opportunities also break for them in the turnovers. As in, Tottenham have a ball with a lot of men there. Chelsea can now turn the ball over. If they turn the ball over, they can find a lot of options. And in transitions, Chelsea is one of the best teams that you can see in England as it stands now. The job that they can do, how good they can play when they play into the channels. That's when Nicholas Jackson comes up and it plays very well in the channels. That's very, very important. And Ronaldo was typing air casting. You see, one of the things Chelsea like about Maresca, the ship shifter. And like I've said, it's the dynamism of Enzo Maresca. Every match he seems to change what the shape is. And it's always opponent dependent. Chelsea doesn't play flat 4-3-3 and 1-4-3-3. No. They play the 4-3-3 based on, opponents not able to see. So then our shape in possession will be like this. Our shape out of possession will be like this. We need to receive the ball in this zone. We need to receive the ball in that zone. It's very important for Chelsea to do that. I'll say the tweaks are constant. Keeping track of their formation is a challenge. Although it looked like a conventional 4-2-3-1 against Villa, it became something else entirely in possession, and that's exactly what it is. Marcani several times said the nominal formation doesn't particularly matter, but where the players are when they have the ball, when they don't have the ball, the zones in which they occupy. And so, if you follow the work of Enzo Maresca, you will know, he is a coach that favors essentially the positional style of playing, but he seems to also, incorporate certain levels of relationism. The positions we pick up should be in relation to not just the opponent, but also your team shape and what we want to do on and off the ball. And it seems to be working very hard for him. Now, one of the good things that you can hear from team, sporting directors say, out to stands now. Still, when your margin say they want to get ahead of themselves and say somebody in English Premier League and now say they're ahead of schedule. No. Almost say they have always believed in the process and they believe in it. Some of us consistently have done the same. And then again, from Jacob's time, but say nobody's getting carried away. Do not fall into a trap of thinking that the ownership and recruitment team are telling themselves they have cracked it. There is simply belief in the process and determination to continue with a plan intended to ensure any success at Chelsea enjoys is no flash in the pan. And so, in the conversation of when Chelsea were transforming, one of the things I studied and I constantly said, and he said, Chelsea need a sustained success. And sustained success, Man City, we need this year, we need next year, we need next year. Sound on somewhere. For them, their thoughts now about okay, let me actually league this year and I see team this year. Yeah, sustain success. Let us be able to have sustained success. And yet the one during the Robert Abramovich time, okay, Chelsea be winning this year, next year on the cup, next season we'll have a GFA Cup back. No, they wanted to consistently to be able to win, consistently to be able to play football, dominate games, and then impose themselves in matches, which is very, very important in the in terms of how good he has been going on, in terms of how good he's been playing. And it's very important that Chelsea dominates games like that, and you can see almost every player around Enzo Maresca seems to be developing. Osha Enzo Fernandez seems to be playing well. Osha Brantia and friend Nicolas Jackson this season seems to be playing well. Kopama. And now I was telling you about the kind of documents I chanced on now Enzo Maresca interview. No catching interviewees, they say, or 4 or 5 different assistants, or they say they always review the footages of the opponent team, any on the team, just to see how the players can get better. And it means that a lot of job has gone into Chelsea making sure so our players will develop and get better. And across the field of play, you can tell, say, it fits into Tottenham Hotspur game. Chelsea got back against Tottenham Hotspur, a team that really Chelsea sharing consistently. But again, one of the reasons why I'm beginning to believe Enzo Maresca will even go for the mentality in terms of in-game preps and even pre-game preps. As in, no matter how easy it is in the past, like Chelsea, against team is a Tottenham Hotspur. Then there will be some level of complacency. They will go into the game and they will not play well. They will mess things up, and then maybe a Tottenham show 1-0. But there seems to be holistic preparation from Enzo Maresca. So come matches man, he comes down in the boys, they find almost everything possible to get a job done, and the players are focused. After the last game against Southampton said he wants more from him, and that obviously will push Madueke to do more. And then in the Premier press conference, he told journalists said Madueke am born home morning, Pedro Neto be born morning, Pedro Neto am born home morning, Mihalo Modu be born home morning. And you come back and he will still not play you. So for him, that's the most important thing. How to really get the best out of the team, how to get the best out of the players, and then push them. And that's the importance of the squad depth that Chelsea have. Having a team that consistently will be pushing each other, having a team that consistently will make sure that one another are on their toes and make sure that consistently they push each other to get results. It was very, very important. And over the weekend, he did say clearly, say, players be say Enzo Fernandez every 15 in January. Over time Enzo Fernandez performance in Sheridan Manor. There were some reports. I told you to forget about it. There's no way Chelsea sells Enzo Fernandez. But Abrante Fernand, Cesar Casadei, there's a possibility Cesar Casadei is going to leave team up your friend Chelsea in January on loan to go and get some more playing time and then come back later. Oshe Enra, how good now as the level goes in terms of Chelsea players and ball. And I think Nicolas Jackson will really have a good time in this game against Tottenham Hotspur. And why am I saying this? Solskjaer's Tottenham Hotspur match now, they leave a lot of spaces in behind. And Nicolas Jackson seems to be performing very well. There have been a lot of improvements in the metrics of Nicolas Jackson. Per 90 and even in games as well. Improvements will be about. And one thing that I think recently I saw from SofaScore, and it's a top 3 shots on target per game in the English Premier League this season, and their conversion rate. About the most shots on target this season and on conversion rate. Hold on. About 2.6 shots on target per game. 2.6 shots per every game. Yeah, you get Haaland playing at least 3 shots on target per game, and then the conversion rate near 18%. Mohamed Salah about 2.0. Almost every game you get Mohamed Salah playing 2 shots on target. The conversion rate is 28%. And then Nicolas Jackson, almost every game, about 1.5 shots on target. Around the conversion rate is 26%. And the fact that Nicolas Jackson is mixing it up with the big boys, the fact that Nicolas Jackson is getting results for his hard work, and the fact that things are not going well last season, but then he seems to be playing on well. It's a very, very good one from Abrantia. Your friend Nicolas Jackson playing very well. And you will give him a lot of respect for Abrantia friend Nicolas Jackson. To get results that he's getting, playing well as he's playing, and then making sure so dominating match. I think that he's doing very, very well, very, very well. In terms of how well he is playing. That's an excellent job from him, from Abrantia friend Nicolas Jackson. And Chelsea team now, they are playing very well. They are making sure they make sure some results now. And it's not going to be easy because what the Tottenham Hotspur team now, again, A very match, a very physical. Oh, Fiifi-Manfred, Romeo Lavia, Dejan Kulusevski, Yves Bissouma, Abrante Fede, Papi Matassa. These are all very physical midfielders in the middle of the park. And in the middle of the park, say, oh, against play, me say, you need to be very physical yourself. You need to make sure say you impose yourself in the match, because so say you allow these people and you're a little bit like lackadaisical, and I say we don't win duels. Now Tottenham must be with great confidence. And the about you in Tottenham playing against Manchester City was the fact that they committed a lot of men up front to press into consistently. They know the City will play out from the back, so the commitment to press, and I think that that's what they will do. And then most likely there is going to be Benoit Bellachile that becomes the press trigger for Tottenham Hotspur. Into Benoit inside cabo on the peg, then that's going to be the Tottenham's trigger to go and press aggressively. They want to press aggressively. Like I said, I've seen Benoit grow in some level of confidence in the last few games. I mean, Benoit has played well in the last 2 matches at Chelsea. When he came on as an RCB to come and play the game against Aston Villa, Leicester City too, same. He seemed to be playing well in those matches now. He was rested against Southampton, a game where it's going to be hugely hinged on him to make sure that he plays well, because if he doesn't play well, then he is in trouble. And in terms of what he can do or what he can't do with the ball and how long he stays in the game, very, very important for him, and he needs to make sure that everything is going to go on well for him. It's really not going to be an easy game. It's not going to be an easy game for Abrantia and your friend Benoit Bellachile, because he's going to be the target man. He's going to be the target over there for Tima. He's going to be the target for Tima. Your friend Tottenham Hotspur says Chelsea hit a ball now to press him, to make sure they win the ball off him, to make sure that Ombebe very aggressive, and then make sure that at the end of the day they will win a lot of duels. And it's very, very important in terms of by way of news and what's going on in there. In Tottenham Hotspur will have issues on centre back as it stands now. Still almost are issues on players and your issues can cry with you, but then still we are definitely huge. Say Chelsea will go on and play well. And Enzo Maresca said something to the Chelsea website yesterday, and I liked it. And you see, it tells you the level of mentality Enzo Maresca kita as a manager. Maresca, Ekans, and Ra said Chelsea are not favorites for the game against Tottenham Hotspur tomorrow. I'm sorry. They are playing in European competition like us. We are there, but it's not because now we are second in the table. But we are favorites. Absolutely not. We are not favorites. Talking about what Chelsea are, and if Chelsea are favorites to the game against Tottenham Hotspur. And like that, I was telling you about how Enzo Maresca tries essentially in the lead up to match Global. He doesn't make the team look like say they are complacent or committing a share. No. They focus and they make sure say they are humbled, work hard, and get the results in it. Only Madueke has spoken. Madueke said it's a game the fans care about a lot, and one we take very, very seriously. Maresca, we are a very good team. It will be a tough game over there. Maresca on high on his public comments. My intention on Reese, or my intention on Noni, or my intention on the next one that I don't know, it will be. It's not because there is a bad intention. It's because I really care about them, and because I really want the best for them. No more than that. Talking about the fact that Oba wants, and sometimes he calls on his players to make sure they do better. And the last one was a brand friend in only Madueke or Holland, and to push him to do better. And also, and now say Chelsea it's Misha against Tottenham Hotspur. They go 4 points clear on top of the English Premier League table. 4 points clear on top of the English Premier League table. That's going to be a huge one. So it's me being of Manchester City, or on 4 points clear of Manchester City in the English Premier League table. Be able to get that level of results against Tottenham Hotspur, that's looking at 4 points clear. It sits you comfortably there. Like I said, the earliest Chelsea can do a retrospective analysis is when they get to March and say, okay, we've come far. Where we are now, definitely, it looks as if we can go on and then get the top 4 spot over there. Maresca on Spurs, or say we pay attention to both games. We see the reason why they are good against City. We see the reason why they lost against Bournemouth over there. We usually change our structure, our game plan, depending on the opponent. The Brighton game, it was one way, and against Aston Villa, completely different. You cannot use the same plan for both. Brighton are high pressing and they leave spaces behind. Villa they are in a low block and they just wait. And talking about what I was saying earlier about how most of the teams are, and anytime Enzo Maresca, any team that Cristiano, he goes in there and then he changes things, making sure say on board in the same way to get the best out of the team. And that's an excellent one for him over there. And it's a huge derby. On beside about another possible referee, original referee friend Anthony Taylor. And that's not Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca said, we don't plan the game because of the referee. For sure, we give the players some information in terms of some general information, but not about the referee. Enzo Fernandez is not for sale in January, like I did mention. And I think it's one of the biggest things that Enzo Maresca carried this weekend. And they said, Abrantia, your friend Moises Caicedo, can now sit on the same table with all of the other top midfielders in the world. And he mentioned Declan Rice, Eddie Rodrigo. I mean, Enzo Maresca doesn't. I mean, on your Obia, Oma people praises just like that. So the fact that he's given Moise Caicedo that praise tells you that he has seen a lot of work from him over there, and he would push how things are supposed to be done. He will make sure that he get the best out of him, to make sure that he'll get the best out of him in terms of how the player can do, or how much the player can do, how much the player can grow, and how things can go in it. Enzo Maresca will push for that, and that's exactly what he's trying to push in there. And of course, that's it over there. I mean, if you look at it from all round, that Chelsea are a huge game, a game that's not going to be easy, a game that's going to be very tough. But then Chelsea would have to push for it and make sure say they get a job done. And of course, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube after the game will bring you a post-match analysis. And we'll talk about it. Until then, you'll take care. Bye bye.